David was the first person to tell me that there was an artist who one of these days I would see. His name was Andy Warhol. The Bodley Gallery was the first gallery to ever show Andy Warhol. They showed his line drawings, his drawings of shoes. He told me about Rauschenberg. I mean, so this was really, really early on in, 61, 62. I used to go to Poindexter, was where Diebenkorn was showing. Al Held, that was one of my favorite galleries. It was on 56th Street. I used to go to the Kootz Gallery. Kootz was like, the Sidney Janis Gallery. In that they sort of had a lock on the abstract expressionists. All the ones that were not handled by Janis were handled by Kootz. The only thing is Kootz had a very cool spin. Kootz's spin was he showed Picasso. He was the guy who represented Picasso in New York. I mean, there were a lot of galleries up and down Madison Avenue that would sell Picasso, but Kootz was getting the new work. So once a year, or once every 2 years, there'd be a Picasso show. There's supposedly a great story. I read this. I don't know this for a fact, but I read it in some biography. But or somebody told me. But supposedly, I guess after the war, after World War II, Picasso was unrepresented in New York, and there were a lot of galleries that were competing, and so they would go to Paris, and he'd have a wherever the hell he was living, and he would have a waiting room, and all these dealers would be sitting, wringing their hands in Picasso's waiting room, waiting if the guy would see them or not. Oftentimes, Sabardes would come out and say, "Sorry, he's painting. You'll have to leave. You'll have to come back tomorrow." And Picasso, I guess, was really getting off on having a waiting room filled with art dealers waiting to see him. So when Kootz finally got to see him, Sam Kootz, and I guess Picasso said, "Why should I deal with you?" Kootz flashed some keys and said, "Because the brand new Lincoln Continental outside is for you." And he gave Picasso the car, and Picasso said, "You're my dealer." I don't know if it's true, but great story. I don't think any of my dealers ever gave me a car. Anyway, so by, I'd say about 1962, I was committed. 61, 62, I was 14 or 15 years old, and I was painting, and I was making art, and I knew that was what I wanted to do.